Hey folks, welcome to the Bourbon Shop. I'm Keith, and today we're going to talk about store picks and if there's a difference in the taste between a store pick and a pick that you just get right off the shelf. Because a lot of people look for store picks just for some kind of uniqueness. So we're going to compare two Elijah Craig's. One is a store pick, and of course one is not. Now let's take a look at what we have. This one is a store pick from Superfine Liquor out in Michigan, Canton, Michigan. And this is a 9-year old. It's from Rick House 8, the fourth floor, and of course 94 proof, Elijah Craig. And this one is just the standard that I found on the shelf, 94 proof. Now this has a stage 8 as 9 years, but you know the regular Elijah Craig is known to be anywhere between 8 to 12 years. So I think we're okay with putting these two together and seeing if there's any difference between the two. So what's a store pick? For some of you who may not know, and if you know, just chill out and, and hang out with us for a minute. So a store pick is at times a store owner may be able to go to a distillery and taste different barrels by invitation, and after tasting different barrels, pick out the one that suits him best for as far as his taste buds, and he's able to get bottles particularly for his store. Okay, so that's one way. Another way is that a distillery may send out samples to a particular store, and they can taste those samples and tell them out of the sample they sent which one they like the best, and then that way they can purchase that barrel for their store. And then there's the other way that a distributor may be able to inform a store owner that there's a barrel for sale at a distillery, and they do a blind buy, meaning they did not sample the juice or compare with anything, just bottle that and they put their store brand on it. So those are store picks. Sometimes they can be very, very, very unique, and then sometimes they can be kind of subtle. But it's a good way to test your palate. So I will always say, if you see a store pick, go ahead and buy it. And if you have a regular shelf item of the same, see if you can tell the difference. Sometimes it's subtle, then sometimes it's quite a difference. The other thing is a store pick always better than what you can find on the shelf? Yes and no. You remember now, a store pick, for the most part, a person is picking out of a barrel based on their palate. But everybody's palate is different, so his palate may not be in line with your palate. Maybe he like more oaky and you don't. So whatever he picked may be more oaky than you would like. So it doesn't always mean it's better. For the most part, always mean it's going to be a slight difference in it. So for the most part, I've found out there, I've been pleasantly surprised with the store picks I've been coming across. So I have pre-poured these because I have a tendency of being clumsy and spilling my drinks. And so I am going to go with the, and I spent some time with this yesterday, full disclosure, but I'll just go through the tasting process with you. Now, of course, this is Elijah Craig from Heaven Hill. On an average, they're 8 to 12 years old. This one says for sure it's 9 years. This is the one, yes. And the mash bill is 78% corn and 10% rye and 12% malty barley. Okay, so with the nose of the store pick, and I'm just going to compare them side by side and tell you the difference. Now, it's pretty much what I got off this yesterday because I did spend some time with this. It's very close to the nose. This comes out a tad bit more oaky, the store pick does. But it still smells like that classic sweet 78% corn sweetness of Elijah Craig. but it's just maybe a tad more oaky. But all the other notes are there. You get some nice fruit, caramel, vanilla, and I would say on the nose, the biggest difference between these two, there's a more of an oak presence here. Okay, so let's just go in for the palate. We're going to go with the off the shelf first. That's always good. Okay, so typical with Elijah Craig is that perfect bourbon. I get that butterscotch, caramel, vanilla. No, you get that nuttiness in it. Some slight oak. This is my first drink for the day, so this feels hot. It's only 94%. And nice spice. This is not that high of a rise. Oh, you 10% rise, so you still get a nice bright spice with it. Yeah, nice spice, nice finish. It's still hanging in there. Let's go right to the store pick. See, now the person who picked this out, I don't know if they were going for it, but they tend to go a little bit more oaky because I get a slight more oak with this, and all the notes are a little sharper, and that may have because it's 9 years straight. Maybe it's not a blend of eight, six, rather 8 to 12 um, bourbon blends in here, but a straight 9 year at the least. Um, so I'm getting a little bit more oak. This was again on the top tier. I think they said the fourth floor of the brick house. So it probably got a little bit more heat, which means it was able to work into that oak maybe a little bit more. But yeah, definitely a little bit more oak. Delicious. Have all the other notes. Both of these have the butterscotch, the caramel, the vanilla, the nuttiness. Slight oak here, more oak here, but sharper notes on this one. A lot sharper. Still tastes like Elijah Craig, but sharper. Is it better or worse? It's just different. Um, I wouldn't pick either one over the other. It depends. If I feel more oaky, I'll go with this one. I feel less oaky, I'll go with that one. But it's good. And like I said, this is a good way to train your palate if you can get a store pick and compare it with a regular pick that you get off the shelf and get those subtle differences. So it makes a big deal when it comes to that. So I hope this was help you out. If those of you was wondering about store picks, should you get involved in it? My vote is yes. Try them out. It's fun to collect some and try some and have some people over and see if they can tell the difference. And I will leave you with the words. The best way to enjoy your bourbon is to drink it the way you want to drink it. The best way to drink it is in a responsible way. And I will see you next time on the Bourbon Shop.